Hey everybody, Kimberly here, and I'm excited to give you a turn or two of Alpujarras. This is a game by Steve Finn, one of my favorites, but you're gonna get a little bit juicier fare here because I think we're used to 20 to 30 minute games with lovely theme and just dynamite mechanics. Well, here you've got a 1 to 4 player game that takes about 45 to 60 minutes. This is a juicier strategy game, and I just can't wait to show you how cool this is because there are a couple features that are some of my favorites, one of which is a turn order time track. I love me a good game that just is in a groove where the last player in turn order gets to go. They just go. And so players can actually take multiple turns in a row depending on where they move their mule. Now, players are actually taking on the role of the Berber people during the Arab agricultural revolution, where there's this terracing feature and this irrigation, this really revolutionary irrigation system comes into play on the main board here. So let me show you what's going on. Players are going to start all the way up here. They have their mule as their marker that's going to walk clockwise all the way around these tracks. And they're going to end back down here. And when all players have ended placing their mule here, the game is going to end. So players have these farmers that they're going to send out to these regions trying to gather fruit because they're growing these fruit trees. We've got lemons, cherries, grapes, oranges, and apples. And you'll see that the majority of a space has a color that's going to be the primary fruit for that particular region, which comes into play during harvest. Now, if you've seen the edge of the board, you'll notice that these are kind of like removable because that means you can always change up where these edges go, where the tiles go, as long as you alternate between markets, which is this cart symbol, and harvest, which is the sickle. Now, harvest really cares about the majority out here. It's going to be an area control with your farmers out on the board. When you come to market, you're going to care about the fruits that you have in your player area, whether you can turn them in individually here or send them to the village to get these trade tokens, these delivery tokens. So here's what's going to happen. I've got a lot of stuff out here and I'm just going to jump in because that's the best way to learn how it works, what it, all these symbols mean. There's just a lot of places and we're just going to learn the rules as we go. So here's the first thing. I'm just going to start with yellow and then I'm going to go green, blue, and orange just because at first they're not in any particular order and you will just make sure that you randomize who starts. So I'm going to send yellow mule out. Yellow can go anywhere yellow wants, all the way to the end if they want, but that kind of skips the entire game. But you can go as far as you want. It is recommended to stop in a market space, which can hold all 4 mules. And it's also recommended to stop in the harvest space, which can hold all 4. Otherwise, when you go in a space, let's say yellow is going to go in that second space, that space is blocked and players will have to either go here or they'll have to go past until that player moves out of the way. Now, these first 4 spaces all have a similar shape. It says add a farmer. You're going to take your farmer. In this case, you get to add 2 farmers and you're going to place 1 in one region and 1 in another. You're never allowed to place the 2 farmers if you have this symbol here in the same region. And if it has a color-coded association with add a farmer symbol, you will place it in that particular region, which is the green apple region right here. But there's also a shield with a symbol that is for colorblind friendly folks, so I love that. So you're going to move your mule and you're going to do what it says on the space. Now, yellow said, I want this Noria. This is a symbol that players can collect that allow them to get some bonus opportunities. This is going to be 1 Noria. They're going to place it in their space. They're never allowed to take more than 5 Noria ever, or 5 fruit ever. So 5 is your special number for this game. 5 is the cap. And I'll tell you on the back of your player aid, you'll have how do you spend your Norias. And then I'll show you this in just a little bit once everything starts to make sense. So they're going to take their 2 farmers and they're going to place them out into one space, and they get to collect a fruit in that space. So let's say the yellow player just says, I'll go right here in this region. They can collect a cherry, an orange, or an apple. Those are the 3 fruits that are available in this space, and that's simply because in setup it has a picture of it, and you stack 3 fruits when you're in a 4-player game all on top of each other, and that's the starting fruit for that particular region. So this player's going to say, well, what's popular? What can I get? Maybe they'll take an apple because they're seeing that here, the market, whenever you go to the village, they're looking for a delivery of apples. So now this player is going to take their other figure and place it in a space that maybe has some apples, because this yellow region does, and so does this red region. So they're going to look at take grape, take an apple, or take a lemon. I think they want to take another apple. So they're trying to go for a couple things. There are these cards up here that allow them to just exchange the fruit during this market phase up here. So we're looking forward to this. And of course I just crashed the whole course. But they're looking up here saying, what do people want? But also, what can I sell in the white kind of city village space for each of these regions? You have to have a farmer in here that will go into town and sell stuff. So that's why you're picking regions, that's why you're picking fruits. But if you're looking ahead to harvest, you also need to think about that area control, having the most farmers in one space. But that's still a little bit a ways away. So that's it. We did move your mule, get what's on your space, and now yellow player is done. Super exciting. Okay, so let's move on to our green mule. Green player says, I see you, and I want to just go one space because, you know, if you get too far ahead, that means that you're going to get last pick next time. And after these 2 folks go, green player is going to start going into the next tile that has 5 spaces before you get to the market. So they're like, I really want to have first pick. So they're not going to get any bonuses other than adding 2 workers. And they're going to do something pretty similar, but they don't want to compete just yet in the same space. So I think they might just go here. And if you take a look at it, oranges are good. Oranges are good. Having versatility with your fruit is probably a really good thing. They're going to take an orange and put it in their space, and they're going to place their second farmer out. Let's have them go over here and grab an apple. Let's have them grab an apple, and maybe they'll work their way up to selling for that green apple and 2 lemons. Who knows? It's so exciting. And maybe we've got some apple opportunities, some orange opportunities. Green is doing okay. All right, we're just going to move on. I've got blue mule. Blue can go anywhere, right? But skipping some of these early spaces may not be advantageous because you really want to get your workers out. You want to get your farmers out, and this space gives that person 2 Noria and 2 farmers. So take the 2 Noria, take the 2 farmers. Blue is going to do very similar thing. So what does blue want to do? Blue can grab some cherries and maybe work towards a cherry grape bonus because they're seeing all these other folks get other things. So let's grab a cherry here, and we're going to place this worker down here, and they want to grab a grape. There we go. I mean, turns can be really, really fast in this game, especially if you know where you want to go and how you want to apply your turn. Now, orange says, I'm going to get the best of the bunch. I'm going to get 2 workers, plus I'm going to get this symbol right here. This is a channel token. This is going to extend the irrigation and be really, really cool. So they take this marker and they place it, the T-shaped one, adjacent to any of the existing irrigation spots. Now, each of them is similar, and they're going to play it out in a space where they want to add more fruit. So let's say they grab this spot. Let's go over here. Let's grab this spot. They get whatever they cover up. So in this case, it's 1 Noria, and it's this exclamation point. Now what they do with that is they come over here and they take a look at these. These are little tokens that there are 2 of each color, or 2 of each type of fruit, and they will place one down here growing that particular fruit in this region, making more fruit. Because right now we've been taking a lot of fruit, and this is the setup, but those fruits are going to deplete if we don't add more. So you can add a new one to this region, and I think we'll do that. Let's add a lemon. Now there are only 2 lemons. There's only 2 of everything. But when you do this, you are going to add 2 here on top. So now this space grows lemons. And you're going to take 1 for yourself from the supply. So that is the cool thing about putting down one of those channel tokens to, again, extend the irrigation, add fruit to this region. And now this player still gets to do adding their 2 farmers. Well, they just put 1 here. I think they want to join that particular space and say, I want to grab one of those lemons because I just got a lemon and now I get another lemon because I added a farmer and took that lemon. And I think they also want to go somewhere where they can get, you saw it, that green apple. That is rockin'. I love it. So now they've got 2 lemons, an apple, and a noria. So going to some of those further ahead spaces are better, but you're also last in turn order. So now it comes down to we're not in any kind of rounds. We just go, 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 go until we get to certain places where we get to trigger things like market and harvest. Green player is going to go now because they are in last place on the track, right? And they can't go here, here, or here, but they can then go out in these spaces. So we know what these symbols mean. That's add farmers. We know this symbol means add an irrigation channel. This is money for dirham. This symbol is a wild fruit of your choice from the supply. And then lastly, this check mark means I'm going to accomplish one of these major cards. They're called goal cards. And if you go on them, because you can show that you have, this one is I have 2 fruits that are the same, and then I've got 2 other fruits that are the same. Well, nobody has that right now, so it doesn't necessarily work. Here shows that you've gotten in markets, you've gotten these tiles, and these tiles have to be 3 that are not the same. So I have to have 1 of this kind, 1 of that kind, and 1 of that kind, for example. I can't finish this by getting just all the grapes. You gotta have a variety of deliveries. Here means that I've got 3 folks in 1 region, which hasn't happened just yet. And then here in 2 different villages, which we haven't explored just yet. So these goal cards are for maybe a little bit later down the road. I don't know if anyone can accomplish that. Maybe this player could do it by getting 1 more apple and then gaining this one. It's possible. So I don't know if my green person's going to go here to get that check mark. They could come and get a fruit. Now, what fruit do they need? They've got an orange and they've got an apple. So they're here. Maybe they want another orange so they can make one of the deliveries. They might want to come and grab another farmer. I think they want to come and grab another farmer and get one of those water irrigations. So they're going to take this one and they're going to place them down in an, boom. They're really saying, I want control of this region when it comes to harvest. You can place it down. It's a single worker, a single farmer, but you could place it anywhere, but they're like this space. I'm going to take another orange. I think that's what they want so they can complete this tile. And then they get to do the same water. Now, here's the cool thing. Some of these spaces, after you place 1, like if you put the 1 here instead of over here, we would then be able to play and get some super cool stuff. I'm going to set my next player up for that. So let's say we add here. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to put it right here. There's a Noria. And we're going to take that and place it in green space. And now they're going to add something to this particular region, which is, what do they need? Apples are getting pretty slim. So if we add this and we're going to take a couple apples from here, yeah, I think we want to do that. We'll take a couple apples and then of course that person is going to get another apple. Yay, right? Really, really good. Okay, so that is green. Green is done, and we're gonna take a look at this. We've got yellow next. And yellow has some green apples. Yellow is in this space. Ooh, maybe they can get up here and get even more points for more apples. That means they have to add a worker. Let's do it. Yellow's gonna jump to simply add a worker. And adding a worker is a little bit better than grabbing a wild fruit, especially if you have a lot of fruits available. If the fruits are not very readily available, you can just pick one from here if they're not on the board. But right now, I think yellow just says, I want to add a farmer and I want to get more fruit. And this person wants to get more apples, and the apples just showed up here. So they're going to grab this apple. There's so many apple possibilities. I'm going to take that apple. Done. So fast. Blue wants to grab another fruit. They just want to grab a fruit because they want to get a cherry, and no one's competing for this. So if they take that cherry, when it comes here to market time, they're going to buy that, and it's going to be 3 dirham, which is again your coins, and that is the game. That's how you win. You count up all of your money, and your money is how you win. Okay, we're to orange, and orange says I have a choice of coming here to get 2, which is money and victory points. They can't necessarily get their check mark because they don't have any of these things out just yet. We just walked through it. They could come here and add a bunch of folks and be last again coming into the market, which is not necessarily the worst thing, but they just keep being last. So I think just because they don't want to be last, they're going to go here, grab 2. Yes, right? That's so good. And then check. Nope, I don't have that. I don't have that. Let me see if there's anything we can do. Okay. So with 1 Noria, you are allowed to return 1 fruit and then take 1 from the supply. So if that were advantageous to me, I mean, for this orange character, it'd be great, but right now they have exactly what they need to do market, and they don't necessarily think they need this just yet. So nothing can be changed out just yet. Nothing can be helped with Noria. So they're just simply going to pass on that check mark. They just can't do it. It's a great opportunity if it applied. Okay, so now blue's got a tough choice. No, they don't. They don't have a tough choice because they're going to go here knowing that they are going to lock in the cherry grape, and nobody is competing with them for it. So they're going to go last coming into the market space, but they get to place out 2 workers, and that's going to help so much at this point. So they see yellow moving in on their territory, and they say, no way, I want majority in this region, and I'm going to just take either orange, apple, or lemon. And it seems like lemon might be a good one for them to make some village moves in the future. They get to go again, and they, again, want to lock down some majority space. Green is coming in here, yellow is coming in here, and I think they want to grab this guy, and they're going to hold on to it. Now, you can have as many fruits as you want as long as each individual type does not exceed 5. 5 max, not 5 for all of them, but just 5 lemons, 5 grapes, 5 cherries, and so forth. Okay, so here's the really cool thing. I want to walk through how a marketplace works, and then I'll walk through a harvest, and then I'll wrap it up. As with every choice in this game, yellow player may not want to go to the furthest space because that means they'll be leaving the market last, but it gives one of the coolest bonuses. So this is a water segment, a channel. This is a check mark if you have your card, if you've made that, which green has. So maybe green wants to go there. This is another Noria, and yellow would then have 2. But I think maybe they do want to go furthest ahead because that is just the best bonus. And coming out of that, I think they're just going to be fine. So when you go into your market space, you're going to get that bonus. So he's going to grab this. Oh, this is it. Oh, this is fantastic. So remember how my last player put their marker here? This is a new space to go to, which gives a player 3 Noria. They're going to do it. They're going to do it because this is a 3. It's a little bit bigger than that 1. But now they've got 4, and they're allowed to add a worker, and they're allowed to gain a coin with that. And at any time during your turn, you can spend Norias to perform an additional action. If you get 5, you get $3, 3 coins, which is insane. That's 3 victory points and you get to add a worker. So getting all the way up on this Noria track is so important. It's so important to the game. So that is yellow, and now they get to do the market. So market space action, they can deliver fruits. Now they've got 2 of these apples here. They can't deliver fruits. They can't essentially do that, which is unfortunate, but they were going more for one of these delivery tokens. So this is earning a delivery token. They are going to take a look at their spaces. They are in this region. They could use this worker. They're over here and they could do this worker, but there's no apples. They're over here. Oh, ooh, check this out. Instead of spending this worker to do that green apple, they're going to use this worker and move them into the village. They're going to take this delivery token, pay their 2 apples, and they flip it over, and it says they get 3 victory points. And this is at the end of the game, but it's worth 3. You always know how much a number's worth because it's always 1 more than the number there. Look at this 5. Is it a 6? Yay, it's a 6, right? Because I knew. It's always 1 more. So you're going to place this in your area, and you say, I've got 1 green apple token. Now, the next thing you need to check is the market bonus. Now, they delivered apples, and this is the market bonus. Oh my gosh. 2 extra dirham, because apples are really, really wanted. People want those apples. You're going to add 2, and you're going to take this apple, and everything else is going to slide into place, and apples are going to go to the end. So getting to market when you want to sell something to get the bonus before other players is really, really important. So that's the second step. Now the third step is you're going to take a look at the space where you went in that village. You are going to get a village bonus. Now all 5 of these places have a different bonus pictured, and when you go there the first time and the first player takes one of these 5 tokens, they get the bonus and they flip it over. And then the next player that does a delivery here with these market tiles does it, and it goes away. So this very first player, yellow, is going to get to add a segment of water, and they get a Noria. Well, look at that. They've got 5 Noria just queued up, ready to do the spending Norias, which could happen on this turn, and they would get $3, and they would also get to add a worker. The other thing is that segment. So let's give them their segment. Where do they want to add this? Do they want to add one here? They have yellow, yellow, yellow. Where is a good place to do that? This is not a bad place. Let's add it here because yellow is invested in this space. Generally, you want to do that. Oh, but before they go, at any point on their turn, they're going to do this bonus so that they don't lose that Noria. So they're going to, I'm going to interrupt myself, spend 5 and get 3 and add a worker out, gaining a fruit. So let's add this worker out here because you want some majority going on here. And they also are looking at maybe getting, let's see here, oranges are good, possibly. They're coming up on the preferred track. So let's grab an orange for them. And now they're going to cover this up, and they're going to grab that Noria, and they're going to place out one of these. And they want, let's put that orange right there. They were going for orange. They're going to now have 2 orange in this region, and they're going to grab the 1 orange from themselves. That is insane. That is so, so cool. So that's what yellow did going into delivery. Now I'm going to send the rest of everybody in for delivery and show you how everybody else is going to go. Orange is going to come in, and they don't want to do the bonus card action, so they're going to come here into that second place spot. They're going to grab a Noria, and they're going to do their delivery. What do they want to deliver? They actually want to do a card. Now, when you essentially pay your fruits back for a card, you don't move a person into the village, and you don't take a tile, and you also don't activate the market bonus. You are simply trading in your fruits. So they're going to take lemon, lemon, and apple. They're going to pay it back. They're going to take this card, and they're going to place it in their player area. So that means they're going to get 3 coins, 3 victory points just for that. And they're going to score that at the end of the game as they tally their points. You can only do one card. You're not allowed to buy more than one card. So once you do your one card, you're going to replace this so that the next player who does their market action is going to have the chance of picking from one of those 3 cards. So just one of those, not more than one. Okay, that player's done. That was market for them, which was a different kind of market, but it was still very, very beneficial for them. Green is gonna squeal in right there, just like pop right in. And they're gonna say, I get to do an objective. I get to complete a goal. Now, do I have it? I've got 2 fruits that are the same, and I've got 2 fruits that are the same. You better believe it. There they are. 2 oranges. I got 2 apples. So green is gonna take this player, and they're gonna put him on one of those spaces. 3 victory points is definitely fantastic. So they take him, and they put him right there. Now, this player's not allowed to do this again. They did it once. Everyone gets a chance to be on there. That's why there are 4 spaces. And so you're not allowed to take up more than 1 on each of those goal cards. Okay, now they get to do their market. And their market can be 1 orange right here, because that's the only one they can buy. Or they're going to turn some of these in. And I think that's what they're going to do. And because blue put up a fight, because blue put up some of this here, and green wants to stay strong in one of those regions, I think green is going to send in this folk right here, this person, this farmer, and say, I want to do the 2 orange. They're going to take that tile, pay their 2 orange, look at the market bonus and get $1, move it down, and they're going to take their bonus for the region, which this says 2 fruits. 2 fruits of any kind from here, and they get to take whatever they want. And you better, oh my gosh, these apples, look at that. Get 2 apples at once so that hopefully they can move in here and get that 4 apples. So cool. I mean, so cool. So that means that blue is going to move into that last space. And that means they're going to go, they're going to do their bonus. They knew what they were going to do. They don't get anything where they stand, but they get to start the next round. They're going to trade out their grape, cherry. Let's put these back. They're going to take this card. That is their card now. They've got 3 victory points. We're going to reveal the next card. Now, can they do this? They can still do both. You get to deliver fruits, and you can also earn a delivery card. So I think they're going to spend their 2 lemons. Where's blue? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Blue's going to move in here, spend the 2 lemons that they have, take the lemon tile, and they're going to activate this thing again, and that's gone. That means it's done, but it's a water segment. Where are they going to go? Where does blue want to go? Blue wants to kind of still be here, but also get some points. Oh, this one's even better. Look at this. They're going to take one of those T-shapes. They're going to cover up a Noria, and they're going to cover up $1. Boom and boom. And they go here, and now they get to place the fruit out. What fruit are they looking for? I think they want the orange. They're going to put in that region, and they're going to stack up 2 oranges and take 1. Now, why did I pick orange? Mostly because it looks like oranges are on those delivery cards for next round when we get all the way back to another market phase. Okay, so that is it for the market phase. Now, without going into another couple rounds of gathering information, what I want to do is just walk through, here's how the harvest works, because that's the other major element to this game, is the harvest. So, whenever a player moves in, I'm just going to use blue, because blue's there, and you move into any one of these spaces, you do get to have the bonus action right underneath it. So a water segment, $1, a Noria are free. So you're going to get the thing, but when you activate your harvest, you will check for these criteria. We're just going to evaluate your majority presence in regions. So blue is going to look at where they are. Now here in orange, they are uncontested majority, so they will earn that particular region's bonus, which is 1 orange. So blue is going to gather 1 orange. And you're going to look over here. You're going to count these. Now, when I come back here, remember, did you notice? These guys, they're in village. They do not count as being in the farmland, so that was 1 to none, not 2 to 1. And the same thing goes over here. Green is in the village, and blue has 2 points of majority presence. So they're going to get a cherry from the supply. And that's how harvest works. That's why you want to be in these regions. And so if we just looked at this yet again, green is going to receive, we're just going to move everyone in and do it. So green gets a grape because they have the most in this region, and they don't have anywhere else because they sent that worker in. Yellow has 2 to 1 for orange right here. They're going to get a green. So here's yellow's green. Now they're tied here. In a 4-player game, you will be friendly with ties. So 1 yellow and 1 orange means each of them will receive a lemon. There's your lemon for orange. There's your lemon for yellow. That's a harvest. So markets have a couple steps, right? With the cards, with the market, and with your tile that you can essentially get. But harvest, you just go, where am I and do I have the most? And if I'm tied for the most in a 4-player game, that's a harvest. And simply just keep moving your mule around. I showed you how awesome it was to spend your Norias to get a bonus farmer and 3 dirham, a bonus farmer, and 1. This is just a farmer. Now, there's a symbol called move farmer, and that's kind of the only thing I haven't talked about is move a farmer. What you do is you take a farmer and you pick them up and you move them anywhere. So it can be to any region. It doesn't have to be adjacent. And when you move a farmer, you will take a fruit from that region that you move to. And it's just you saying, I really need to have I need to have a majority. Or I want a tie, right? So if I have, blue has a majority here, they can move over here and now they're getting a cherry and they're getting a lemon. And so that can be really, really cool. So that is the game. That is Alpujarras, and wow, is it cool. Players will amass the fruits, they will send them to market, they want to have their farmers out working so that they can get that majority for harvest, and these cards will cycle through pretty regularly. These fruits will continually become valuable, and I will say this is one way that you can really drive home those bonus points, trying to get every little 1, 2, or 3 of these at a time. Finding as many opportunities is so advantageous. Making sure to get the goals is important too, because if you get there later than other players, you're getting less victory points. You're getting a lot less than they are. Getting Norias and spending Norias appropriately. Oh my gosh, there's just a whole bunch to like here. Turns are fast, and I just love the dynamic of that turn order time track. Now, how does the game differ for 2 to 3 players? Well, the first thing is you're going to flip these over to the other side so that you are playing on a different track that's balanced for 2 to 3 players. And you also are going to play with one of the other colored tokens that you're not playing with already. And that character's name is Zara, and she is going to roll this die and move that many spaces along the track, blocking particular spaces. When her mule stops in a market space, you're going to take a look at the top card of the market deck, and it's going to show a picture of one of the fruits and an arrow going up or down. And you will simply take the lowest, in this case, the lowest green apple tile away from the board, and she will just nab it up and it will go away. It will either say the lowest or the highest. So if you look at the next card, it says the highest grape and so forth. So that's what she's going to do in market spaces, is by taking away these market tiles in villages, because she's filling orders behind your back and then you can't get those orders filled. Now, when she reaches a harvest space, you're actually going to flip the card over. This is the top card of that market deck. And you are going to remove what's shown on the back side, which in this case is a green apple, from the grape region. So you're going to come to the grape region, and if there is a green apple, you'll take it away. In this case, there isn't any. You can also see how flipping over one of those 3s, right? That's tough. So you never know exactly what's going to happen with the harvest. It's a little bit more of a secret because you have to turn a card over to reveal the combination of the location plus the fruit. But in the market, you can kind of see that coming just a little bit. And without going into all the details of the solo play, you are going to play against Zara, again, much like players do in a two-player game, but in this case, you've got special cards that you're using, and your goal is to earn 5 different delivery tokens, which are the squares you get when you move into a village, and you have to have more dirham or money than Zara by the end of the game. There are just some fantastic changes for that solo play that make it just as fun as playing a 2, 3, or 4-player game of Alpujarras. So I think there is just a whole bunch to like here with Alpujarras, and it is just that fits right in with that 45 to 60 minute game. I love how these can be moved around, which means that every time you go around that turn track, it's going to be different. All of these tiles get placed out randomly at the start of the game, and then all these cards are going to be shuffled, and so you never know exactly which fruits are wanted at market at the start of the game. So with just so much to like here, I really appreciate you sticking through my couple turns of Alpujarras in my 4-player game. You can check out this game right now at Gamefound. Just go to the link in the description below and it'll take you straight there. So please check out this campaign from Steve Finn. I think this game is dynamite. All right, everybody. I'll see you later.